I don't know if she's going to be here today.
This is our 10-mile march on Saturday.
I don't know.
All over here. We're still bandaging the wounds.
Good to have you.
I
How
never got to have
are
such
you?
a listener in my entire life.
You're welcome.
I think she has band-aids on almost every toe. But she stuck through it. She made it through the whole march. So, we got to give credit too. Yeah. But I just wanted to come over and say hi. The last meeting.
Hey. Happy Veterans Day, buddy.
Russell! There you are at your post.
Some of them are ROTC. She'll actually take a picture of
Well, good morning, sir. How are you? Thank you for that compliment.
I'm here.
All right.
We're not the edge.
All right, boys. We got our spot. Now, we'll go to the bathrooms. Or you can put your vest here if you want.
She did.
Be careful. Be careful. You might break.
I was just thinking about one. And somebody told me she was as big as a house. You sure there's not two more in there? But she's
Hi, Ross.
I saw you carrying a piece of paper. Are you going to be a speaker?
Yeah, I'm gonna say a few words.
You don't want to put you on television?
Of course not. No worries. No worries. Thank you. Good to see you.
the way, happy birthday. See why they make you memorize that it was your Canadian doctor. They never do I don't know.
I get to stand behind the
What's the password here?
I do. That's how we all are.
Yes, I did.
No, you're good.
Just looking up their password.
Where is it?
It's
Is it
a
that number?
It's a number.
Okay.
There he is down there.
Bud Light, Coors Light, and Miller Lite are my most popular. Sure. That's all right. 3, 4, 5, 5, 10.
Okay.
Flanders fields, the poppies blow. Beneath your crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw the torch, be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep when poppies blow. In 1918, the 11th hour of the 11th day in the 11th month, the world rejoiced and celebrated. After 4 years of bitter war, an armistice was signed. The war to end all wars was over. On Armistice Day, soldiers and sailors who survived the war marched in parades through their hometowns. Politicians and veterans gave speeches and held ceremonies of thanks for the peace they had won. But Americans realized the previous war would not be the last. World War II began not long after, and nations great and small participated in a bloody struggle. Today we continue to remember the men and women who have sacrificed over the years to bring freedom and peace to an entire world. We remember those from the Korean War, Vietnam War, Operation Just Cause in Panama, Operation Urgent Fury in Grenada, the Gulf War, and NATO peacekeeping efforts in Bosnia, Albania, and finally in our fight against terrorism on our own shores and in Afghanistan and Iraq. Today we remember all those who have sacrificed. Let us give God thanks for the legacy of peace and wisdom they have left us. May we each be worthy in our own lives of legacy. Please uncover. Lord, we give thanks to you for our gifts, but today we give you thanks for these men and women who have sacrificed for all peoples across the world, who believe in continuing the cause of peace and freedom. Amen.
Could we now post the colors?
Order. It's hut. One, on.
Prepare to post the colors. Post.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two.
Order.
Will the color guard please retire?
Color guard, left, hey. Mark, mark.
Please be seated. On behalf of Post 1034, I would like to welcome all of you here. We're glad to see all of you here. Glad to see all these veterans out, that we might honor them today, this being Veterans Day. Thank you for coming. I would now like to call on our Auxilary President, Lesley Stacy, for a moment of silence.
A moment of silence, as we know that all gave some and some gave all. Let us remember our veterans. They freely gave us or saved us from the freedom that we all enjoy today. As we come together today to honor those that gave so much, may we always remember the sacrifices that were made on our behalf of those we honor today. May we always honor and support our veterans. Never forget what each and every one of them did for us. God be with each and every one of you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, kind of a special treat. If I could have Zoey Wilder come up, please. Zoey is Lesley and my granddaughter, and she's in the junior ROTC program at Monty Tech, and she's got a couple of words for us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zoey Wilder. I am a freshman member of the Marine Corps Junior ROTC program at Monty Tech. First and foremost, I want to thank all of our veterans, active duty and service members, guardsmen and reservists. It is your service and sacrifice that has kept our country safe and free. No matter which branch you served in, raising your hand and committing yourself to service in the military was a brave and selfless act. Thanks to those who served and those who continue to serve today, America can sleep safely because of you. Military men and women know the risks, but they accept them so others won't have to. God bless you all, bless our veterans and our active military men and women. and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zoe. Now the American Legion Post 5 band will play Armed Forces Salute. Floating around, there's the words to the various branches of the service. I'd like to introduce a few folks that are here today. If you haven't met me, I'm James Stacy. I'm the commander of Post 1034. You heard from my wife, Lesley Stacy. She's the president of the Auxilary here at Post 1034. We have with us American Legion Post 5 Commander Tom Costello. American Legion Unit 5 President Carol Macy. Marine Corps Auxiliary President Barb Hodgson. XPOW, Chapter 1, Vermont Commander Richard Hamilton. Gold Star Mother Regina Meckel. Gold Star Father Robert Gilbert. There might be a few of you that don't know what that means. Gold Star Mothers and Fathers, it means that they lost one of their kids to the war. And we salute them for the sacrifices that they made. We'd like to thank Bill Wessel, American Legion Post 5 Band. Brattleboro Fire Department is represented by Chief Michael McSkosky. We have a contingent of the Brattleboro Police Department. Our past state Vermont Auxiliary President Dixie Goldman. Now, I'm not sure if I missed anybody else other than...
You did.
Commandant of Brattleboro Detachment, 798 Marine Corps League, Sherry Garland.
Marine Corps League, Sherry Garland. Are there any others that I've missed? Yes.
Glenn Derby, Vietnam veteran, Chapter 843, Brattleboro.
Thank you very much for being here. Yes.
Yes, sir. The disabled veterans.
Disabled veterans. We thank you all for being our guests here. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce our guest speaker for this ceremony, Dr. Robert Tortolani.
I hope people can hear me. Can you?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, thank you for all of you for being here today, and I hope you will have a very meaningful and enjoyable Veterans Day. I have this pin on my chest here because it was given to me by my uncle, who died a couple of years ago. He was a tank commander with Patton during the Second World War, and so he gave me a bunch of meaningful mementos, but this little flag, I think, was one of them, and it's just really to remember the World War II veterans amongst us. Dick Hamilton, I don't know if anybody else here is a World War II veteran, but hey, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think we have to remember in a special way our World War II veterans at every meeting of veterans organizations, because they're only going to be with us another maybe 10 years, Dick, hopefully. But you're very special to us, and it's very important to constantly remember those people. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to reassure you a little bit. I'm not going to speak for more than about 12 minutes, so that's good news. I won't hold up lunch too much. But I have some things to share with you that I hope will be interesting. Jim asked me, he said he had a hard time tracking me down. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak today. He came to me after a meeting 13 days ago and asked me if I'd be willing to speak. I usually don't turn things down when I'm asked, so I had to give this a little thought because I didn't have much time. And then I thought, yeah, I'll give it a whirl. And I figured that anybody here would have my back. I'm full of a room full of veterans, and I was in the 1st Cav Division, 1st to the 7th during the Vietnam War, and I always felt very as safe as I could being amongst those brothers of mine. And I also feel safe being in a room with a lot of veterans and a lot of supporters of veterans, and I figure if I screw up, you have my back, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. So anyway, I started thinking. Jim asked me 13 days ago to speak. I started to think about for a minute what it meant to me to be a veteran. And I said, gee, you know, I know a lot of veterans. As a matter of fact, I'm a member of a men's veteran group that meets every Tuesday morning at the American Legion. We've been doing this for a year and a half. It's been very meaningful to me, and I think to a lot of them. And there's also a women's veteran group that meets every Thursday under the direction of Christy Turner, who is in here today. And that women's group has been meeting on Thursday morning. So what I did is on last Tuesday morning, I came to my group and said, would each of you be willing to tell me in a couple of words or a couple of sentences what it means to you to be a veteran? And after, I think there was a concern, they had a homework assignment. I brought pencils and pens and papers and a little bit of trepidation, but within a minute or so, everybody got into it. And within 5 minutes, I had 17 sheets of paper. And I said, gee, that's a pretty great. So I didn't look at them for a couple days. And I went to Christy Turner on Thursday morning, and I said, Christy, would you take this up with your group and see if they'd be willing? I certainly thought it would be useful to have, men and women's intake on this. I didn't want to leave anybody out, and indeed, they were very willing. So I want to thank right now publicly the 20 veterans who really spoke to my heart. They were very candid, and I thought, in many ways, quite eloquent in terms of how they spoke about how meaningful it was to be, what it meant to them to be a veteran. So I'm going to present that information to you today. I'm going to present some general themes, and at times I'm going to have direct quotations from the veterans. I would say that no matter what the gender is or the age of the veteran, there were common themes that came about, and there was no great difference no matter how old you were. We have people going from age of 50s to age of 95 in our men's group. And I'll just take the opportunity to speak for both myself and Christy, that if there's any veteran who would be interested in joining the group, just show up. It's a very safe environment. Tuesdays at 9 o'clock at the Legion for men, Thursdays at 9 o'clock for women at the Legion. And we'd love to have people come in at any time. Just show up. You don't have to, call ahead or anything like that. So anyway, at this point, I'm going to have to read because I don't want to forget anything, and there's a lot of quotes. So I'm going to go to basically the report. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a physician. I'm not a researcher. I'm a person-to-person kind of person. I'm a relationship kind of guy. And I've never done a scientific study, and I've never reported to a medical group any type of double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. This is not a double-blind, placebo-controlled study. This is simply, from the heart, a survey of what 20 veterans in our community feel at this point about being a veteran. And I'm proud to be able to express for my 19 other colleagues what they feel about being a veteran. So, if you bear with me, I'm going to go to my notes. Sometimes you get a little bit more information than you need, and a few of the veterans expressed why they went into the military. They didn't make a point where they drafted or did they sign up. But anyway, I'm going to present that information to you. For most, it was out of a sense of duty to serve their country. not surprisingly. For some, it was also an opportunity to learn new skills, to further their education, to learn about other cultures, to travel, and quotes, to take time to grow and gain confidence, and to get some direction in life. One vet summed it up: when I was called, I left my dream to serve my country's needs. I think a lot of people could say their plans were interrupted as they served their country. Another stated, I was part of something bigger than myself, something that we accomplished beyond ourselves. Of note, no one stated that he or she joined the military out of a quest for adventure or to escape from a difficult home situation. It was nice. In terms of how these 20 veterans feel now about being a veteran, there are some common themes. 11 of the 20 said that they were proud to have served their country and are happy to be a veteran. Many spoke of the importance of camaraderie with other veterans and the sense of being members of a very special group. As stated by one veteran, this is quite profound: being a veteran provides a connection to a fraternity who can share their experiences simply with a look, a word, a wink, and a tear. That vet spoke of, I quotes, an emotional sensitivity over shared experiences. A number of vets stated that they took pride in having the opportunity to help other veterans who are in need in the community at this point. And another stated, no matter what you do in life, you did your job for your country. Finally, another one stated the importance of being part of something many people will never experience or understand. That's very true. A few concerns or regrets were expressed by the veterans. Several voiced the feeling that, in general, veterans do not get the recognition they deserve. 2 veterans stated they're remembered one day each year and ignored the other 364 days. I think that's something we have to remember. It's very profound how much recognition that veterans get on Veterans Day, and I think there's a tendency not to remember their ongoing sacrifices and what they did for us. We should always remember that. Another felt that all veterans, whether they were in combat or not, did their duty and deserved to be recognized. Another voiced impatience with those who assume too much about the military without ever having served in the military. Finally, another vet stated, so many people have no idea what life is like with a finger on the trigger one day and then being expected to transition to the peace and routine of civilian life the next. That's an extremely profound thing, and it's something we're all concerned about. In summary, there's no question that patriotism is the common theme among the 20 veterans. Our 20 veterans feel proud to have served their country, and many take pride in continuing to serve their communities and other vets. They're happy to have made it through their military experience and to now be a member of a very special group, the members of which have a true understanding and appreciation of their peers. Neither anger nor frustration was a theme that was common, though one veteran who had fought in the Vietnam War admitted to, and I quote, sorrow, regret, and anger towards our leaders who sent us to die, that love and friendship with those I served, comradeship is all I came away with, along with thankfulness to be alive. Finally, one of the vets stated that in his military travels, he learned that all people in the world want the same things: food, shelter, security, and the opportunity to work and provide for their families. Very profound. So, I want to thank my colleagues, my veteran colleagues, the other 19, for making this presentation a possibility. And I also want to thank you all very much for your attention. I want to thank all of you who support our veterans in times of peace and war. Without you, no serviceman or woman could complete his mission in times of war or fully enjoy life in times of peace. Finally, I want to remember and pay tribute to all of our men and women on active duty who stand in harm's way in order to allow us to have the freedom we all enjoy. And I thank you for your attention, and have a great day.
This is my first time doing this, so You get what you get. I would actually like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for coming. We've got service organizations that are represented here. We've got the town is represented here. We've got the Legion Band, which has been absolutely fantastic. We have honored guests. We have Gold Star Mother and Father. We have a lot of people represented here. And what are we doing here today? We're honoring our veterans. And I want to thank you all for coming and showing your support for our veterans. Benediction. I would like to thank you. Our post chaplain has been ill, and Mike has graciously volunteered to come over here from the American Legion Post 5 and take the place of our chaplain. For that, we thank you.
A little bit on my history lesson that I started with Landers Fields. We as United States citizens do not have the only celebration in the world for this particular holiday. A lot of you are not aware, this holiday is called Remembrance Day in other countries in the world. In particular, it's celebrated in Canada, the Cayman Islands, the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Belgium, and France. And this is where the poppy started. So just so you're aware, we don't have a holiday just for us Veterans Day. This is celebrated throughout the world for all veterans. Please uncover. And now, our Father, as we part from one another to go our separate ways, we pause to worship in the memory of those of our comrades who have answered the final call and have been received by you. We are thankful for their lives. The remembrance of them is an inspiration to us. They teach us to dedicate ourselves to the things for which they fought and died. We pray also for our nation. Continue to watch over its affairs. Grant wisdom and the spirit of being peacemakers to all those in position of authority, and may the citizens of our country learn to desire justice, to love righteousness, and to seek peace. Strengthen also, dear Lord, the bonds of peace between all nations and all peoples. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Would the color guard please retrieve the colors?
Color guard. Retreat. Left. Big.
Thanks again for coming. Buffet lunch will now be served by VFW Post. And please, the band and first responders, please go first.
I see you're not alone today. Why is it?
The story about when somebody went to pick him out and asked the jailer what his job was. He said, I'm sending a meal for me.
Bragg, North Carolina. Smile. North Carolina, yeah. Yeah.
Every year we get this down to the side. I know what shots I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. Yep.
The pretty one, yeah.
You're getting gentle with that, man.
Oh, yeah.
What do you make to make one machine? Yeah, well, with this, yeah. So if they got something wrong, I have to find out.
And he is just pull people there and like kind of yelling in her face. And she's like,
What do they make?
They make slide in there and say,
paper for cord. They make paper for staples.
We good?
We're good, rolling.
Okay, Mike, here we are. It's Veterans Day. It's Monday, November 11th. And following your lead, using your old programs, we've just completed our ceremonies for Veterans Day and lunch. And we did it more or less the way you've done it in the past. You and Pat have done it in the past, and it came off perfect. So I just wanted to let you know. And I'll be over to see you soon. Okay, have a lovely day, Mike and Pat. Bye-bye.